Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name's Farah Halaby and I'm a professional Muslim and life coach, and tonight I'd like to talk to you about, I was going to say scab picking. It's not scab picking that I want to talk to you about, but that was what came to mind. Have you ever had a scab or a scar or a, something that you just can't stop picking at? It begins to heal when you just pick at it because it either gets itchy or you just want to scratch it off. And when you do, although it might feel as if, you need to get it off, but when you do, it's, it's still raw underneath. It's not healed properly. It might aggravate it. And although I don't sit here contemplating scabs all day, that's not what I'm doing, but it got me to thinking about the things that we pick at, the metaphorical scabs. I don't know if that's the word that I'm supposed to use, but in interactions with people, if you're having an argument with someone or you're in conflict with someone, whether it be a work colleague, whether it be, your children, your spouse, whoever it is, and you know that picking at that scab is not a good idea. You know that firing out what you want to say, what's going around in your head, is not a good idea, but it just comes out anyway. It's like there's this need to just get it out, to have the last word, or just to have your say, even though, based on perhaps evidence or history, it's not beneficial. It doesn't serve you. But the need to scratch that itch, to pick that scab, is so great that you just do it. Now, as we know, you may not know, but I'm going to say what I know. If I've got any kind of, inflammation or, or wound, the best thing I can do is just leave it alone. Scratching it is not going to make it better. There's going to be no calm. It's just going to be more aggravated. So leaving it alone first of all, or applying something that's soothing, that's calming to it. It's not going to be more scratching that is going to make it better. It's going to be the opposite. It's going to be something that is just leaving it alone, letting it be, let it settle on its own, or applying something that is soothing, that will neutralise it, that will calm it down. And that's exactly the same thing in arguments, in potential conflicts, in discussions, in disputes, in minor disagreements or even major disagreements. When you need to, or feel the need to, put your point across, say your piece, bash the other person over the head with all the words that you want to be saying, that actually what you're looking for isn't more conflict. You don't want more aggravation. You don't want more information. You don't want more drama. But there's almost this need to actually get through or get across what is rising up in you. All of the words, all of the, opinions. You just want to have that say. And the opposite to that, or the calming of that, is taking yourself out of the game, taking a step back, leaving it alone, which means not engaging, not firing out, not being there, whether it be not being there with your words or physically with your presence, but disengaging, stepping back and doing nothing for the moment. And just giving yourself a chance to see that calming, because all the while you're in this heightened state of emotion, and you've got these thoughts, this desperate need to just spit out the stuff that's in your mind, like literally empty the contents of your mind on the other person, whether it's serving or not. It's just, you just need to get it out there. That actually disengaging, stepping back and doing nothing will first of all give you a pause, so that you can apply calm, so that you can apply something that's soothing. And as I've talked about scabs an awful lot, best thing you can do to it is just leave it alone, because there is no healing by scratching it. There is no healing by poking at it even more. You know, you're not going to make it better by, you know, by touching it, by aggravating it, by scratching it, by inflaming it. Just leaving it alone, and it will be fine on its own. It'll be okay. But when you see that your disengagement, that you stepping back is not, it's not defeat, and I guess I'm going into battle terms here now, but with conflict and disengagement and everything. But if you think about it, you're more likely to fire a shot if you're holding a gun. But if you're not, I don't know where I'm going with this, but just please bear with me. If you're not holding it, you know, there's a better chance that you're not going to fire a shot. So giving yourself the best chance by disengaging gives you a chance to step back. It gives you a chance to be out of the realms of possibility for you to fire that shot. So by you stepping back and taking a pause from not firing out those thoughts, then what you're going to have is a space to decide what you can do that would serve that situation, whether it be taking yourself away physically or stopping, you know, firing out those shots. And then instead of firing out, you know, those thoughts, those words, by making a decision to not, making a decision to consider what you're saying in terms of a calming effect, applying soothing words. And whether that be, okay, just, and that's, and just okay, or just acceptance, okay, this is what it is right now. You get to decide how you then go forward. You don't have to carry on being in conflict. You can actually decide there and then whether you know, retreat, or whether you carry on, but in a different way, with perhaps different words, or with different tone, or with no words, with, you know, with nothing. You neutralise the situation. Now, I speak to a lot of ladies, and I've done it myself, when it, you know, the anger and the thoughts get the best of you. You know, they get the better of you. It's like you've got this almost, and we're told that, you know, the whispers of shaitan are very, very real. Like the whispers and the whispers, like just do it, just say it. You know you want to, you want to. And then then he disappears. At the point that you're about to say it, he goes. And then you're then left with, you know, saying some stuff maybe you don't mean, maybe you don't want to be saying, but all through the lens that, you know, you've got to scratch that itch, you've got to pick that scab. But doing nothing at that moment may not come to you, because all the while you're het up. So to give yourself the best chance, just to really help you in that conflict, in that discussion, in that debate, in that interaction, you have the choice to do what you want. You have the choice to say what you want. You have the choice to behave how you want. And that's what you're accountable for. You're not accountable for the other person. You're not in charge of the other person. You're not in control of the other person. You can't control someone else's thoughts, feelings, behaviours, actions. But you have the ability to impact and affect your own. That's what's your responsibility. You're not accountable for other people's actions. You're accountable for your own. So giving yourself a chance to just step back, disengage, and really assess what is beneficial for you in that moment. Take the other person out of the picture, but doing what's best for you in that moment. And if it is to completely come away, you know, take yourself out of the situation. If you don't want to be in conflict, it takes two, or it takes more than one person to be in conflict. If you're not in that situation, then the likelihood of you being in conflict, well, you can't be in conflict on your own. Well, you can't be in conflict with someone else on your own. You know, you need someone else to be in conflict with. So taking yourself, like I said, you can't control the other person. So for some of the ladies that I speak to, it's just like, but how? I get so het up, I get so wound up, and it just feels like I've got no choice. You know, I just have to say it. I've got to. It's almost like this thing takes over me. And if you have been, you know, if you have if you feel that, does that resonate with you? Have you ever done that? Have you been in a conversation that quickly turned or escalated into like conflict, into an argument, into, you know, the need to just say what you want to say, you know, regardless of the consequences? If that is the case, in that moment, you may not, you know, you can't see things clearly because it's all just, you know, you're in conflict mode. But by just being aware that you have the power, that you have the choice, that you have the control over you, other people can't make you do anything. They can't, you know, they can't force you to think anything. They can't control how you think. They can't control how you behave, just like you can't with them. But when you have lots of or more ways in your world, in your life, in your day, to exercise the choices that you do want, that are beneficial to you, that serve you, and have more opportunities and building into your day the purposeful, intentional, being present in making decisions, making choices that serve you, you'll have more of a lens for it in the times when, you know, you may get the whispers of shaitan and, you know, overrun with all of those thoughts that go around in your head. Because the more you exert that power of free will, that gift that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you, in a way that serves you, it's not going to be so het up. It's not going to be so, like, you know, accumulative. Because you're releasing, you're doing your thing, you are living your life, you are exercising that right, and you are exercising that gift that he gave you to make decisions, to think about what you're doing, to have a say in your life, to have the responsibility, the accountability in your life, but to create, you know, the way in which you want to live, to do what you want to do the things that are pleasing to him, to do the things that are pleasing to you. And when you have more pockets of being able to exercise and, you know, actually put into the world the choices that you make, when it comes to potentially conflicting situations, there won't be this big backlog of, you know, pressure of all the times you've felt, you know, restricted. And you'll have more of a lens on returning to that innate God-given gift that he gave you. Now, if you've got past the whole scab picking analogies and the conflicts, what did you hear in what I've just said? What have you understood? I'd love to know. One, to just to have a little see, a little bit of a nosy look-see to understand if you've understood me. But yes, also just what comes up for you. Are you someone that feels that they have no choice over how they behave? And when they're in a conflicting situation, when they're in a conflicting situation, or in a situation where they feel, you know, either attacked or that they have to, you know, that they're on the defense, that the words that, you know, just shoot out like, you know, like bullets. If you are someone that feels like that, why do you think that is? What is it that is going on for you? And I'd invite you to just reflect upon what you think is going on. And if you'd like some help with that, then you can message me, or you can email me at connect@farahhalaby.com, and I can provide a space to really, you know, iron out a couple of things and make it clearer for you, or help you see why, and then put forward a way of, you know, helping you manage it and deal with it differently in a way that does serve you. As you know, my name is Farah Halaby, and as always, I pray that you are safe, well, happy and healthy, and inshallah I'll be on tomorrow, not talking about scabs. But for now, take care. Assalamu alaikum.